What were they saying?
Plug it in.
Plug it in, plug it in. And guess what you're going to hear me saying? That is what substitution is all about. Yesterday I told you that an expression cannot be solved. It has to be simplified or evaluated with substitution. An equation can be solved because it has an equal sign. But an expression cannot be solved. And the only way to do anything with an expression is if you plug it in. And you've got to have values to plug in. Okay? And so that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be looking at putting values in for those variables. So here's what it looks like. It's just like a substitute teacher. They're going to step in for me and fill my role until I can come back, right? That's what's going to happen with substituting with a variable. So we've got our expression right here in this example, h plus 5. In the directions, now here's where reading your directions, paying close attention to what the directions say, is going to be critical. Because somewhere in your directions, somewhere in the it's going to tell you, if it wants you to evaluate, don't be daydreaming, be listening to me. If it tells you it wants you to evaluate, it's going to give you values for your variables. And so you need to be very careful in reading carefully of what those values might be. For example, right here, h plus 5 is our expression. We need to replace the h with 3 because it told us up here h equals 3. So what are we going to do with that 3? We're going to plug it in. We're going to take that 3. If that's going to be a distraction, I won't do it again. We're going to take this 3 and put it right there in for h. So now it makes our expression 3 plus 5. And now we're able to get an answer. Now we can get an answer because we have substituted for the variables. Okay? All right, so I'm going to bring you some pages for notes, and then I'm going to go over the notes with you. If you're at home, the notes are down there, attached. Hang on, I'll be right back. Oh, that's not, I keep forgetting that this is not. All right, so everybody has the notes. So here we go. In algebra, substituting means putting blank where letters or blank are. So in algebra, substitution means putting blank. That first blank is values. Putting values. So we're putting values. Where the letters or variables are. Variables. Putting values for the variables. Okay? Putting values for the variables. So the examples that are here are, we're just going to talk through them. We have x minus 2. Okay? If you look on your notes. And we know that x equals 6. I want you to circle x equals 6. And then I want you to circle again that 6 right there. Really circle that 6 right there real good. And I want you to draw an arrow to the x. Plug it in. We're going to plug it in. You're going to take that x and replace it with a 6. Okay? And when you do, this is what we get. 6 minus 2. Now we can evaluate that and get 4. Okay? Questions? Everybody with me? Has everybody got this? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. When x equals 2, what is 10 divided by x plus 4? So I'm going to rewrite this. I want you to rewrite this with me, even though we've got it right here. What is it about that problem that makes me cringe?
It's a different way the sign.
That diagonal fraction bar just makes me cringe, doesn't it? So we're going to write it the way we're going to see it. 10 divided by x plus 4, okay? Put 2, all right, so x equals 2. Circle that and then circle that 2 real good. So we've got to take that 2 and put it right there for that x. And when we do that, we are going to rewrite the problem. So now we have 10 divided by 2 plus 4. Okay? Now here's where it gets a little bit tricky. When you can use your calculators, okay? But you have to use the order of operations yourself. You cannot just put that straight in the calculator. So if you wanted to do this on the calculator, you've got to do it step by step. For example, you've got to do 10 divided by 2. You're going to get, and push the equal sign, and you're going to get 5. And so now we have 5 plus 4, don't we? Then put 5 plus 4 in the calculator and get 9. You can do the step-by-step computation on the calculator, but don't rely on the calculator to do the order of operations for you. Does that make sense? And I learned that in the station rotation that I'm going to give you to do this for practice. I figured that out because I was just putting it straight across. I was using one of our 30XS's and it was coming up with these crazy answers. And it's because it's not doing the order of operations the way it's supposed to with this. It's throwing things all off. You can do the step-by-step computation, but do not rely on your calculators to do the order of operations, okay? All right, if x is 3 and y is 4, so now we've got x squared plus xy. Well, look at that xy real quick, real fast. Somebody tell me, xy. What operation's going on with that x and that y? Multiplication. I want to show you the mistake that tends to be made. So what we're going to do right here, we're going to take this 3, and it goes over here, right there, and right there. So we've got 3 squared plus 3, and then we're going to take the 4, and it goes in for y, and we put our 4 right there. What ends up happening a lot of times, people do that, and they don't recognize that that is multiplication. You've got to use parentheses right here. And if you need to help you remember, come right here and put you some parentheses to help you remember that that's multiplication. Because if the mistake that fourth period made over and over with this was they ended up looking at that as 34 instead of 3 times 4.
They already did it.
There's a couple weeks ahead of you. 3 times 4, not 34. And that was the biggest mistake, is they were putting that in and just saying it was 34. Okay? Does everybody see that that's multiplication? All right. 3 to the second power is 9. Does everybody know how I got that? 3, that's 3 times 3. This is 3 times 3. Plus 3 times 4 is 12. And 9 plus 12 is 21. Any questions about that one? All right, now look at this example. We're going to put in 3 for x. So, x squared, this is 3 squared plus 3y. We don't have a value for y, do we? So, 3 squared is 9. And then that's all we can do. We can't do anything with that 3y. We cannot put 9 with 3y. Because those are not like terms. And we're going to get to that a little bit later. Oops, I went too far. All right. So now let's look at what happens when we have some negatives. Because we are going to have some. So we've got 1. Move that stuff over and stand right there if you need to. Or go stand back there. Don't go stand back there. Just stand right there. 1. So we've got 1 minus x plus x squared. And it told us that x is negative 2. So we have 1 minus, now look at this. That's a minus a negative 2. Okay? That's minus negative 2. Plus negative 2 squared. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So 1 minus negative 2 is 1 plus 2 plus negative 2 squared is negative 2 times negative 2, which is a positive 4. Now, all of this you can do on the calculator. You can put 1 minus 2 in the calculator and you're going to get 3. You can put negative 2 times negative 2 in the calculator. You can even do negative 2 in the x squared button and it's going to give you positive 4. Okay? You can do that computation in the calculator. And when you do, you're going to get 3 plus 4, which is 7. Okay? Any questions? All right, I want you to take a second and try these that are at the bottom of your paper. Try these 3. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to try these 3. Okay? 3 minutes. And then we'll come back and do them together. Okay, so I'm going to work these now. And let's see how you did. So you check your work. This x is going right here. Oops, sorry. My bad. This x is going, this 3 is going right here for x, and this 3 is going right here for x. I'm going to put me some parentheses right there so I know that that's multiplication and I don't get messed up, okay? So I'm going to come right over here and rewrite it. 2 times 3 plus 6 minus 3. So that's 6 plus 6 minus 3. 12 minus 3 equals 9. So 9 is the answer. It's not x equals 9. It's just 9. Okay? I'm going to take this negative 2 and put it right here for x. And I'm going to take this 4 and put it right here for y. And my 4 goes right here for y. I'm going to put me some parentheses right here so that I know that's multiplication. So I have negative 2 times 4 plus 2 plus 3. I needed some parentheses right there too, didn't I? Times 4. Okay? Now, that's negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. Please don't rely on your mashed potato brains to remember all these integer rules. Put them in the calculator. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. Plus 2 plus 12. Negative 8 plus 2. Please put that in your calculator because your mashed potato brain sometimes forgets about integers. But that's negative 6 plus 12. And when I put that in the calculator, I get a positive 6. Alexa, stop. All right. This negative 3 is going to go right here for x and right here for x. I'm going to put some parentheses right there so that I can know that that is multiplication. Just a little bit so it's not that flare. glare off of it. So I've got 3 minus a negative 3 plus 4 times a negative 3. 3 minus a negative 3 is really 3 plus 3, but if you put 3 minus negative 3 in your calculator, you're going to get 6 plus a negative 12. And 6 plus a negative 12 is negative 6. Again, use the calculator to make sure that you are getting these integers right. A lot of you, all right, here's my question. How many of you were correct in all of your substituting? Everything was right on that step right there. Give me a thumbs up if you had everything substituted correctly. But what ended up happening is your integers got you and you didn't end up with the right answer. Am I right? You have the calculator. Use it, okay? This is not a non-calculator unit. Use it, okay? Because the thing that's going to get you, the thing that's going to bite you the worst in this unit is those integer rules. It's those integer rules, okay? All right, so let's look at what we're going to be doing today. First, you're going to go into your Google Classroom, and there is a link. Let me get out of this. And I'm going to show you what Google Classroom looks like. Here it is. Substitution practice is what you're doing first. You're going to go here and go to this. It's like a game, but here are, so t plus 2. I'm going to come up, here's my values. So t equals 7. What's 7 plus 2? You're going to put the answer in right there. When you get all of those answers put in, you click check, and it's going to tell you which ones you got right, which ones you got wrong. Okay? If you get to check and you don't know what you did wrong, you need to let me know. You need to do this on a sheet of paper. You need to write these problems down on a sheet of paper and show all of your work on paper. You're going to turn that paper into me. Okay? When you're done with level 1, click right here and do level 2. You're going to do level 1 and level 2. Write the problem down, do the substitution, write the answer, and then put your answers in and check. And you're going to do level 1 and level 2. Okay? When you finish that, you're going to come right here and do this quiz is. It's 10 questions, and it'll be a little daily grade. And when you finish that, I will have sent you a Google form that has some substitution practice for you to do for a daily grade. Okay? All right? Is everybody clear on what you're doing? All right. So get busy. Let me know if you have any questions.